Alright, everybody. So, we're going to be going over the patch notes for the 12th update here. And starting it all off. So, going to get some general rewards for sitting through the maintenance period. Why and who. But, to the meat and potatoes of it all. So, firstly, they've improved the tracking for the homing missiles, which is the sidearm of Falcon, fires your missiles about. Which is the sidearm of Falcon. It also would be applying to the missile launcher modular weapon, I do believe. They have removed a 3-second restart delay on the shields for the following strikers. At least this Panther for Hurricane, as well as the modular weapon and the one for the glider, for the melee glider. Now, on to the actual strikers. With Falcon, they have increased its HP from 29,000 to 31,000. In winged form, they have added the charge system onto the evasion rolls. So, reading through it. Each evasion maneuver consumes 1 charge. During evade, the lock-on immunity duration decreases as evasion charge diminishes, down to a minimum of 0.2 seconds. Evade charges do not regenerate while performing evade, loop, spiral descent, and ceasing these maneuvers will regenerate 1 charge every 0.5 seconds. So every half second, you're going to get a charge back while you're not performing an evasive maneuver. Loop and spiral descent have a fixed lock-on immunity duration and are not affected by evade charges. So, what I take all this to mean is that whenever you are performing your evasion spams as Falcon, each time you do it, you're going to decrease this gauge that is here. It's indicated over here on the screen, of course, but it starts at 7, goes 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And each one is getting less and less iframes, basically, where you get the lock-on immunity. And what it seems to be catering to is to stop the constant spiral spam that is making flyers quite so slippery, and to make it to where they have to rely more on their actual tactical flying and evasion loops in order to have the survivability, but subsequently also giving you more health to accommodate for that change. On to Skyraider. So, firstly, Energy Missile has had a change that I'm here for. So, firstly, it has gone from doing 2,700 damage in 15 ticks over time to doing 10,500 damage on hit and then 2,000 damage in 15 ticks over time. So it is going to result in the total damage being the same across the board, but it's going to be useful for those moments where you're trying to hit an evasive target as Skyraider, and it's not going to sit there and be inside the ticks for the full duration. So if you do manage to hit someone who is going to sit there through all the ticks, like say you have a Tricera, it's still going to take the same damage. So you're not losing out. What you're gaining is initial damage for evasive targets, and I'm here for it. Now then, as for the jamming missiles, Ox 1, it can now be used while immobilized or staggered. Its cooldown has gone from 15 seconds to 12 seconds, so you can use it quicker. However, the jamming smoke itself has gone from 4 seconds to 3 seconds. There's less smoke out by 1 second, so you can't really sit in it quite as long. It has the same evasion charge changes and everything else the Falcon did. And then lastly, for the missile dispenser, the carrier projectile can no longer be intercepted by enemy strikers. Now, if you don't know what that means, with its Ox 3 that it has that shoots the cluster missiles, before, that main cartridge could be shot down before releasing the micro missiles. It can no longer be shot down, meaning you are going to have more sustainable damage when you're trying to hit those ground strikes in your runs. Which I am very happy about, because I know that between my energy missile being shot down and my missile cluster being shot down, it made it very hard to get meaningful damage out onto the field if a Tricera was looking at you. Because all you could do in that case was to try and hit it with your energy beam, and that was not always the easiest thing to do. Now then, for Narukami, they have changed its main weapon. The shooting interval in close range mode, so non-ADS, has gone from 1.2 to 1, so you can fire faster. Subsequently, the damage has gone down from 13,000 to 12,000, so You're firing faster, but you're doing slightly less damage. Now then, Ox 1, the decoy drone. Its durability has gone up from 9,000 to 12,000. And the auto reload time after recalling has gone from 60 seconds to 30 seconds. So you're getting more drones out faster and they're more durable. So that should help with the overall survivability of Narukami. Moving on, we have Aleseness changes. When Aleseness' armor is removed, its Purge armor form limited time enhanced state has gone up from 4 seconds to 6 seconds. So whenever you purge armor, the buff you get there goes from 4 seconds to 6 seconds. So now all your ground and aerial actions don't consume energy, you're immune to stagger, evades become immune to enemy lock-on and direct illusions, and the enhanced state gains an additional effect. Striker movement is increased by 10%. So, if you turn into Baby Aleseness, you are now generally buffed by everything related to movement and CC control for 2 seconds longer than you were before. Secondly, it's airdrop. The shockwave range upon removing and re-equipping the armor has gone from 50 meters to 70 meters. So that shockwave that is generated whenever Aleseness equips or purges its armor is now bigger. So that would be more disruptive for those team fight moments, and we'll have to see how that really goes. Because I for one know that I have found Aleseness to be slippery at times whenever I've tried to engage it. I don't have that slippery mindset, apparently, to actually pull it off, but hey, now maybe even I can do it. Moving on, we got Panther. Changes to the main weapon being the lance and the shield blade. The shield blade downward slash has gone from consuming 6,000 energy to 4,000 energy. I don't know how I feel about it, because I have seen myself get shield blade spam, downward spam slashed a lot as is. But I guess if they're doing it, they feel like it needed it. So, other than that, after Panther uses said downward slash, and then charges its lance, the first blade slash can now be used more quickly. So basically, you get faster blade combo if you are going from slash to lance to slash. And then when triggering a deflect with the lance or the shield blade in a downward slash, self-striker stagger time is reduced. So you no longer sit there staggered after performing the downward slash quite as long, basically. Now then, something I'm rather intrigued by here with Inferno. So, they have given it from 47,000 health to 54,000 health. Its fluid armor regen has gone from 750 to 900. Fluid armor depletion cooldown has gone from 2.8 down to 2. Its ballistic defense has gone from 33% to 37%. Its blast defense has gone from 28% to 35%. And a change that I've been long awaited, Ox 2, the focus emitter, the big singular Iron Man chest beam, when you use that from the ground, you can now jump and hover while actually using it. So if you use it on the ground, you are no longer stuck not being able to hit your target. You can actually rise up now. Now then, tactical supplies. As we are getting here towards the end, the standard tactical supplies has come about, so we have new ways to do new missions for Verge, new missions for Mashmak, and we can turn into paints to get our supplies. So while that event is running, you need to be sure to do those and get as many seasonal crates and all the other rewards as plausible. So as you can see, these are all the various things you have to do. I say it's kind of self-explanatory. Play the game, get rewards. Now you can also take this time to spend your mission tokens to exchange your mods for a random mod of the same quality. So if you have those gold mods that you do not care for, the mod they have, you can go and gamba to see if you can get the better one that you want. Whether you choose to do so, up to you. And this event period is going from May 12th to May 25th, so be sure to get that in while you can. And then Operation Rampage and Operation Gold Rush will end after the update, so please plan accordingly on those. Now, we got Mashmak updates. So, they have optimized the display logic of Mashmak to make it easier to find stuff. So, ammo refill packs dropped on the field. It goes from 1 pack to 8 packs, so that is nice. After a pilot discovers the gold crate in a match, it will remain on the map marked so you can know its location and shared with your teammates. So, no longer do you have to go and find the thing, ping it, and then be like, hang on, I pinged it 5 minutes ago, and now we're coming back to look for it. Where is it at again? I've lost it. Now you can just look on the map. Now, we have modular weapon adjustments. I'm not going to bother reading through all those, but short answer, buffs. The general answer is buffs. And then lastly, we got bug fixes. So, fix an issue where the Sniper Glider's auxiliary pack, Aux 1, would occasionally consume 1 round, but fire 2 rounds during the sustained shot. Basically, fixed a bug where the gun wasn't gunning correctly. Wahoo. So, that is it for the updates. Now then, I'm going to go ahead and transition here and show you a bit of what is, I'm going to say, is practical and like what is like actually needed to see and understand how it's working now. So without further ado, let me join you back here at the training range. Alright, so here in the training range. So I'm going to start here with Falcon and discuss those evasion charges. So as you can see, if we are flying here in jet mode, down here in this corner we have the evasion charges. And as you can see, I do a roll, it consumes a charge. Do a roll, consumes 2 charges. And you can see, like, if you sit there and you are not spamming it, you are not really going to run into an issue about not being able to, like, have them to use. Because, like, yes, you are still energy dependent to make sure you even have the energy to do them. So, as long as you are just sitting here doing one of these maneuvers, you are, like, fine. And as you can see, if you look above, right over here, you can see how when I have more of them, it says untargetable for just a little bit longer than it does whenever we get down to 1. So, like I say, all in all, I really don't think it's going to be that bad, so long as you are taking your rolls tactically. You know, don't just sit there and spam the entire time. Wait till you hear the lock-on beep, hit them with a loop, then a roll, hit a downward loop, hit a downward spiral. Just do something different than do a tactical roll, and you should be fine. You know, use cover. So, all in all, that is how they're doing that. It's going to be the exact same thing for Sky Raider. You roll, it's going to change it. You do a loop, it's going to be fine. So, just have to play a teensy bit more tactically on that front, and that is the major change there. Now then, the other thing, so before, if you were to activate your Aux 2, you could not rise up off the ground, you were stuck. Now, activate it. Hop, and as you can see, now it operates as if you were in the air. Now, you still cannot descend while you have it active. If you press the descent button while you have your beam emitting, you will cancel it and you will fall to the ground fast. So be sure not to make that mistake. But other than that, it is a nice change. So as long as you can make sure that you're keeping your reticle on target, you should not have any issue. And with that being said, the only other thing I wanted to mention here is just so people understand what is being said. So now, here with Sky Raider. This right there, that is what we're talking about. How there's that initial missile that launches out before all the micro missiles. That is what is no longer targetable by intercepting from, like, Tricera, for instance. And as you can see, it now has that higher initial hit. Now, obviously, because it's Tricera, it has more health, and so it's not going to be showing, like, the proper 10,000 damage, but it is doing the initial hit now, which is going to be good for, like, say whenever you try to take out an Aquila that's buzzing around in the sky, taking shots at you. Now, it's going to take more instant damage, and I think it's going to be an overall good change. But with all that being said, those are the things we needed to cover for this update. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below if you think you agree with me, or if you disagree with me, and, you know, share your opinion on how you think it is going to change the current Flyer gameplay and all that. Because that seems to be their major change they're going with here, is, like, in general, they're moving away from the, like, heavy evasion immunity kind of things. Like, they've turned down Inferno's ability to be evade happy. They're making it to where the flyers have more energy to, like, or not energy, but, like, more things to manage in their flying so that they can not just sit there and be, I don't know, jet happy, I guess, is the word that comes to mind. But having all that said, let us see what comes of it all. And without further ado, I will see you guys in that next one. Bye-bye.